There was a kind of pain that does not come from the world outside. It comes from looking backward. It is the ache of regret, the thing you should have said and did not, the chance you let slip past, the person you were too afraid to become. Late at night, your mind reaches back and replays it, as if watching the same scene again could change the ending. But it never does. Regret is one of the heaviest weights a person can carry, partly because we carry it in secret, and partly because we believe we deserve to. So we keep punishing ourselves quietly, for a past that cannot hear us. Today we are not going to erase your regrets. We are going to learn how to make peace with them, how to stop replaying the past and let it soften into something you can finally set down. 7 calm truths. Stay with me. Before we begin, let us be clear about what peace with regret really means. It does not mean pretending you would do nothing differently or forcing a bright side onto real pain. Some things were genuinely losses, and your heart is right to grieve them. Making peace is not forgetting, and it is not lying to yourself. It is quieter than that. It is learning to hold the past with an open hand instead of a clenched fist, letting the lesson stay while the self-punishment falls away. Think of regret like a heavy stone you have carried in both arms for years. We are not going to pretend it never existed. We are simply going to set it down, take what is useful, and walk on without it pressing on your chest. After each truth, I will offer a tiny practice. You do not have to forgive everything today. You only have to begin. The first calm truth is that regret is proof you have values. It feels like a flaw, like something broken in you, but look closer. You can only regret a thing you wish had gone differently, and you can only wish that because you care about something. You regret the harsh words because you value kindness. You regret the road not taken because you value courage. You regret the time you did not give someone because you value love. Regret is the shadow cast by the things that matter most to you. A person who cared about nothing would feel no regret at all. So when the ache arrives, hear what is underneath it. It is not only saying, you failed. It is saying, this mattered to me, this still matters. Your regret is not evidence that you are bad. It is evidence that you have a heart that knows what is good. Try this now. Take one regret that has been sitting heavy on you. Instead of asking, why did I do that? Ask a gentler question. What does this regret tell me I care about? Say it out loud. I regret this because I value blank. Underneath the pain, there is something tender and good. You are not looking at a flaw. You are looking at your own values, asking to be honored. The second calm truth is that you decided with the knowledge you had then, not the knowledge you have now. This is the trap that keeps regret so sharp. Looking back, you judge your past self using everything you have learned since. You see how the story ended, then blame the person who could not have seen that ending coming. Psychologists call this hindsight bias. Once we know the outcome, it feels like it was obvious all along. But you did not have a map of the future. You had only that moment, those feelings, that limited view, and you did the best you could from inside it. The version of you who chose was younger, more afraid, with fewer tools than you have today. Judging that earlier self by today's understanding is like scolding a child for not knowing what only an adult could know. Be fair to who you actually were. Here's your practice. Picture your past self at the moment of the choice you regret. See how much they did not yet know. Now say to them, gently, you did the best you could with what you understood then. You did not have what I have now. It is all right. Speak to that earlier self the way you would speak to a frightened younger sibling, not a criminal on trial. The third calm truth is that there is a difference between regret and rumination, and telling them apart changes everything. Regret is a feeling. It arrives. It tells you something matters, and if you let it speak, it can teach you and then pass through. Rumination is different. It is regret stuck on a loop, replaying the same scene with no new insight and no exit. It feels like you are working on the problem, but you are not. Going over the same painful moment again and again does not solve it. It only deepens the groove and lowers your mood, like a needle stuck in a scratch on a record, playing the same broken note. The mind confuses motion with progress, so when you catch yourself circling the same regret for the 100th time, notice you have crossed from feeling into rumination. The honest grief had its say long ago. What is left is just the loop, and the loop helps no one. So try this. The next time you notice yourself replaying an old regret, ask one simple question. Am I learning something new right now, or am I just circling? If a real insight is there, take it and act. If you have heard this loop 100 times before, that is rumination, not reflection. Gently say, I have already learned this, and stand up and change the room or the task. The fourth calm truth is that the lesson matters more than the verdict. Looking back, the mind wants a verdict. Was I good or bad? Smart or foolish? Right or wrong? But the verdict is a dead end. It cannot be appealed, because the past is closed. The lesson is different. The lesson is alive. It can travel with you into every tomorrow you have left. So instead of asking, what does this prove about me? Ask, what does this prove about me? Ask, what does this teach me for what comes next? A regret that ends in a verdict just sits there, heavy and useless, a stone around your neck. A regret that ends in a lesson becomes a quiet wisdom you carry forward. The same memory can be a cage or a teacher, and the only difference is the question you ask of it. Stop putting yourself on trial. Start sitting with yourself as a student. Try this small thing. Take a regret and finish 2 sentences out loud. First, the verdict. This means I am blank. Notice how heavy that feels. Now drop it and finish the second. Because of this, next time I will blank. Feel the difference. One sentence buries you, the other one teaches you. Choose the teacher and let the judge go. The fifth calm truth is that you can make living amends, right now, in the present. Some regrets carry real weight because we genuinely hurt someone or let a person down. With those, simply forgiving yourself can feel hollow, and that resistance is worth listening to. But here is the gift. The past is closed, yet the value behind the regret is still open. If you regret being unkind, you cannot unsay those words, but you can be kind, today, to the next person in front of you. If you regret neglecting your health or your family, you cannot get those years back, but you can tend to them now. This is sometimes called a living amends. You honor what you regret not, by drowning in guilt, but by becoming, going forward, the person you wish you had been. The debt cannot be paid backward into the past, but it can be paid forward into the present, every single day. Here is your practice. Take one regret and ask, what is the value I betrayed here? Kindness, honesty, courage, presence. Now name one small, concrete action you can take this week that honors that same value. Not to erase the past, but to live the value now. Write it down. A regret turned into a single kind action stops being a wound and starts being a direction. The sixth calm truth is that self-forgiveness is not a single event. It is a choice you make again and again. We imagine forgiveness as a door you walk through once, and then it is done, the past sealed behind you forever. But that is not how the heart works. You will forgive yourself on a quiet afternoon, and feel the weight lift, and then weeks later the memory surfaces again at 2 in the morning, sharp as ever, as if the forgiveness never happened. That is not failure. That is simply how it goes. Forgiveness is not a wall you build once. It is a practice you return to, like watering a plant. Each time the old regret comes back, you choose again. You can pick up the whip, or you can place a hand on your own shoulder and say, I've already decided to be on my own side. Keep choosing the kinder response, one more time than the cruel one. So try this. Pick a regret you thought you had let go of, but that keeps coming back. Instead of being frustrated that it returned, place a hand over your heart and say, here you are again, and I choose, once more, to forgive. You do not have to feel it perfectly. You only have to choose it again. The choosing, repeated gently over time, is the healing. The seventh calm truth is the one to carry when all the others slip your mind. Let your regret point you forward, not backward. Regret naturally faces the past. It tugs your gaze over your shoulder, toward the door you did not walk through, the life you did not live. But you cannot walk well while staring behind you. You stumble, you stall, you miss the path in front of your feet. The deepest peace comes from turning that same energy around. The very thing you wish you had done is a clear signal about what you value, which makes it a map for the time you still have. You regret not being braver. Then it points toward a braver step you could take this year. You regret not loving more openly. Then it points toward the people still here, still reachable, today. Your past cannot be rewritten, but your future is still unwritten, and it is far larger. Let your regrets become quiet arrows, all pointing forward. Let your regrets become quiet arrows, all pointing forward. For your last practice, take your heaviest regret and turn it into a single sentence that faces forward. I wish I had blank, so going forward, I will blank. Say it slowly. Feel how the weight shifts from behind you to ahead of you, from something that happened to something you can do. That small turn from looking back to looking forward is what making peace really feels like. So there they are, 7 calm truths to carry with you. Regret is proof that you have values. You decided with the knowledge you had then, not the knowledge you have now. Tell the difference between regret and rumination. Choose the lesson over the verdict. Make living amends in the present. Forgive yourself again and again as a practice, not a single event. And let your regrets point you forward, not backward. You will not make peace with all of it today, and you do not need to. The old memories will still surface sometimes, especially in the quiet hours, and that is all right. Making peace was never about feeling nothing. It was about setting the heavy stone down, taking a lesson, and letting your hands be free again for the life still in front of you. Be patient with yourself. You are carrying a past that took years to gather. If this helped you feel a little lighter, take a second to subscribe and leave a like. It quietly helps the channel grow. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me. Be gentle with the person you used to be, and take care.